Since 1960, the Falcon has been Ford's compact car and its main competitor to the Chevrolet Nova and Dodge Dart. When the Mustang came out in 1964, it killed the sales of the Falcon, and even though it was redesigned in 1966, it still couldn't meet the U.S. National Highway Traffic Safety Administration's safety standards that would go into effect on January 1st, 1970. So Ford stopped making the Falcon in the middle of the 1970 model year and made the Maverick its compact car, giving the Nova and the Dart a new rival. The Maverick was styled like the Mustang, with a long hood, fastback roof, and short deck. It had a 103-inch wheelbase and rear side windows that popped out. In its first year, nearly 579,000 Mavericks were made, which was close to the record-setting number of Mustangs sold in the first year, nearly 619,000, and easily beat the Mustang sales of less than 200,000 in 1970. In the first half of 1970 model production, there were two engine options: a 170 cubic inch straight six with 105 horsepower and a 200 cubic inch straight six with 120 horsepower. In the middle of the year, a 250 cubic inch straight six was added. In ads and commercials, the Maverick, which cost $1,995, was compared to the smaller Volkswagen Beetle, which cost about $500 less. Later, the Pinto was Ford's main competitor to the Volkswagen Beetle in the subcompact class. It also went up against the new Chevrolet Vega and AMC Gremlin, which were also subcompact cars. Early Mavericks had two-spoke steering wheels with partial horn rings, which were also found on other Fords from 1969. By the end of 1969, the steering wheels were changed to have no horn rings. Also, the early models had the ignition switch in the instrument panel, but cars made after September 1st, 1969 and all of 1970 Fords had these switches on the locking steering columns. This was because of a new federal safety rule that went into effect with the 1970 model year.
What was that?
Sounds like the new four-door Maverick. It is the new four-door Maverick. Now go to sleep, my darling. We will see it again at sunset.
A four-door model was introduced for 1971, available with a vinyl roof. Mercury also revived the Comet as a rebadged variant of the Maverick. Also for 1971, an optional 210 horsepower 302 V8 was introduced for both the Comet and the Maverick.
Does the Grabber belong with these performance cars? Well, yes and no. No, it doesn't have a monster engine. No, it doesn't have a monster price. No, it doesn't have high insurance rates, and it doesn't use premium gas.
The Maverick Grabber trim package was introduced in mid-1970. In addition to larger tire fitment, the package included graphics and trim, including a spoiler. It was offered from 1970 to 1975. In 1971 and 1972, the Grabber came with a special dual-dome hood.
You're gonna love these red, white, and blue Sprints at your Ford dealers. Each special Pinto, Maverick, and Mustang Sprint has red, white, and blue accents.
In 1972, the Sprint package came with two-tone paint in white and blue with red pinstripes and a special color-coordinated interior. A stylized U.S. flag shield was on the back of the rear quarter panels. This trim package was only available for 1 year and was a nod to the 1972 Olympics. A trim level called Luxury Decor Option, LDO, was added at the end of the 1972 model year. It had reclining bucket seats made of soft vinyl, plush carpeting, wood grain instrument panel trim, radial tires with deluxe wheel covers in the same color as the car's body, and a vinyl roof. The Maverick LDO option was one of the first American compacts to be marketed as a cheaper and American alternative to the more expensive European luxury and touring sedans made by Mercedes-Benz, BMW, Audi, and others.
And not only does Maverick cost less than any of its three leading competitors, but doesn't it really look like a better car? Come see it at your Ford dealers. We want to make you happy.
Jumping gas prices and increasing demand for smaller cars resulting from the 1973 oil crisis, caused the Maverick to grow in popularity. Minor changes were made from 1973 to 1975. For 1973, the 170 cubic inch engine was dropped, making the 200 cubic inch six-cylinder the standard engine. Additionally, improved brakes and a previously optional chrome grille became standard.
If the gasoline shortage has got you scared, partner, get a horse. Your Ford dealer has 3 little thoroughbreds named Pedal, Maverick, and Mustang too.
In 1974, the Maverick was unchanged, except for new, larger, federally required 5-mile-per-hour bumpers for both front and rear, which required new rear quarter panels and end caps.
The 6-cylinder Maverick's got steel-belted radials and solid-state ignition too. All NC.
NC Neat Compact.
Maverick production continued for 1975 with the release of its intended replacement, the Granada, as a more European-style luxury compact. The Granada and Maverick shared the same basic chassis. The Maverick received minor trim changes for 1975 that included new grilles and the replacement of nameplates on the hood and trunk lid with Ford nameplates in block letters.
Since the first 1970 model, Ford Maverick has been honed, refined, and improved. Now Ford introduces the 1976 Maverick.
In 1976, the Grabber was dropped and a Stallion package was introduced. The Stallion option came with special paint and trim. Standard Mavericks received new grilles and gained front disc brakes as standard equipment, along with new foot-operated parking brakes that replaced the old under-dash T-handle units. Sales continued to drop.
Here's a better idea. Your 77 Ford dealer limited edition sale with great value like this new 77 limited edition Maverick.
In its final year, the Maverick remained unchanged for 1977, except for a police package, which was not sufficiently upgraded for police work and sold less than 400 units. Since the Maverick was supposed to be replaced by the Granada in 1975, it didn't change much in the last few years of its life. Well, there you have it, the history of the Ford Maverick. Did you own one? Do you have one? I haven't seen one in quite a while.
Like,